All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the parts of the world. My name is Raymond, aka Array of Sunshine 21. Welcoming you to another edition of Array of Sunshine, bringing positive stories to light. And I'm on a few minutes early tonight. A little bit of storms around the area this evening, so I want to try to get as much stories as I can put out this evening. I think I might be good for the next hour and a half, 2 hours. So as long as it holds out for me, that will be good enough for me. Hey Mawal, how you doing, man? Hoopla, I'm still in massive need of a vacation. We all are in a massive need of a vacation. Hopefully you are doing good, and hopefully everybody else is doing good this evening. Um, yeah, hopefully everybody's doing good this evening. Hopefully everybody's having a good week so far. I know I went on a surprise stream yesterday. Went out to the lake, a little bit up north to me here, and had a good time. It was a little bit of a find that I found yesterday afternoon on that little stream there. So hopefully you guys caught the replay, and to the few people that joined the live, I do appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. That was a little bit relaxing, and probably will be going back soon. Thinking maybe I should do a live there. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I really wish I could share Tears of the Kingdom with you. Oh, nice. Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, awesome. Awesome. One day, Molo. One day. All right. So tonight we're going to have 9 positive stories to get to, and only 2 videos or short videos tonight. One of them, since can you believe this? We're almost halfway through the year. Next month will be June, 6th month, and we're almost halfway through the year. So I thought maybe we could go ahead and bring on the recent positive stories that were covered so far in 2023, and also we're going to have quotes at the very end of the show. Um, you know what that is, correct? Tears of the Kingdom. You know what? I have no clue what it is. I know you have been doing May Rio, so first of all, let's do a shout out real quick. Or May, I know what you were trying to do on that. May Rio, um, on that. I don't know if that's part of oh, Zelda. Wait, I just thought of it. Tears of the Kingdom. That is a Zelda game because I've seen people play it. So it is a Zelda game. So hold on, it just rang my bell there last minute. New Zelda game. Got it. I had to think about the title more. I was like, wait a minute, the title's familiar. So I have seen people playing that on here, the new Zelda game. So, um, yeah, hopefully, I don't know if you'll be playing that on your stream soon, Mawal, but I have seen people, little snippets of people playing it. Um, so, unrecognized command of a shout. Oh, I spelled it wrong. That's probably why. I spelled it wrong. Hey Frank, how you doing? Welcome to the show, man. Frank is in the house here. No hockey tonight. There we go. So we'll give Mawal a follow there. He's doing May Rio, and I have to come into your stream one day. If I'm not tired and bogged out from work, I will come in there one day and say hello. So but yes, make sure to give him a follow and support him Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for May Rio um, over on his channel. Frank says basketball, the NBA playoffs. I am, you know what? I'm done with the NBA. I am done with the NBA, Frank. It's the highest voted game on my Discord poll, so probably going to play it when June comes around. Oh, nice. All right. I know you're a big Zelda fan, Mawal, so I say he has to play it. He has to play it on his stream. Um, yes, hockey, the junior hockey for the World Cup. I'm done with you. You're done with me. Okay. Well, that's nice. And then they said, "We're done with you." All right. Anyway, so he's watching some junior hockey, Frank over there, and go Canes Thursday night. I almost said tomorrow night, but it's Thursday night when they play, and of course they will play when I go to work. How about that? The first two home games they're going to play when I'm working. So hopefully we get a 2-0 lead on that one. And Frank's just spoiling it, saying Florida's going to win. Anyway, so he's already putting out a prediction of Florida versus Vegas, so we are in opposite ends. I think Carolina and Dallas will be in the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, but that's another topic for a sports segment one day. So one day. Hey Sharon, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead and get started. I did say I was come on a bit early today because of storms and everything around the area, so I thought maybe we could go ahead and get started with the stories. But so good to see you here, Sharon, Frank, Mawile. So good to see y'all. Before you go into the story, what was your take on the last occurrence Sunday at Darlington? So I think you're talking about when Ross and Kyle probably that you're talking about. Um, Ross Chastain will always be Ross Chastain. I'm just going to leave it at that. Ross Chastain will always be Ross Chastain. That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. So, if you know what I mean, then you understand. This is a nice, positive show, but I'm going to say Ross Chastain will always be Ross Chastain. All right. Phrase this, but they're friends. Well, of course they're going to be. They probably talked it out and be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to." So it is what it is. I'm glad Byron won. It was throwback weekend, the 24-1. So I'm glad Byron won. I'm glad Elliott got third, that classic number 9 car. So I was kind of happy with the race, sadly. But I know Larson was in play for a win. But the other Team Hendrick guys rallied on to get the victory. So yeah, I think if he upsets too many people, Ross Chastain's going to be in the mud pretty soon. Yep, you know what? He could already be. He could already be in the mud already, and a lot of people, like Kyle Petty, um, I know a couple other people, probably current racers, are like, if you make too many enemies out there when it comes to championship time, how many allies will you have that will want to help you win the championship? You don't got many. So it's on him. It's on him. So um, that's all I say. Ross Chastain will be Ross Chastain. How are you going to win the championship if you're going to keep doing those moves? So we're going to leave it at that. Um, Hopefully, in the next coming few weeks, maybe he'll change. I don't know, but Ross Chastain will be Ross Chastain. All right, I'm done. Let's catch up on comments here. I didn't mean. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, I didn't mean to punch you in the face. Stop, Frank. Oh, Sharon's clueless. It was NASCAR, Sharon. It was NASCAR. Um, yeah. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. But thank you, Mawal, for I kind of answered your question there. Kyle should have never got what he deserved on that. He should have won the race. To be honest, it was between them two, but uh, people like to get feisty sometimes, so it happens. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started with our first story of 9 tonight, and hopefully everybody enjoyed that little sports talk there for a few minutes there. Go Canes. Ross Chastain will be Ross Chastain. And you know what? The Lakers are probably going to win the NBA championship. So there you go. There you go. Spoiler. I didn't mean to punch him. I just meant to rattle his cage a little bit. I will say Chastain did put on a good punch on who was that? Gregson. Literally could hear it. But anyway, all right, back to the show. Frank says the Celtics. All right, it's probably going to be the Lakers. So anyway, let's get started. I'm done with the NBA after firing all those good coaches. I'm done with them. I already know what's going to happen. So anyway, be good if Lakers win for LeBron, but Celtics are good, and the Heat are good as well. The Heat are putting too many some upsets. LeBron, see, being sharing a LeBron, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's number one. Period. That guy plays all his games. Is a great, great athlete. Michael Jordan was the best in the NBA. Putting it out there. Not LeBron James. I don't think Heat have a team to beat the Celtics. You never know. Yeah, Jordan over LeBron. So see, we're coming to agreement now. Jordan over LeBron. Anybody that says LeBron is better than Jordan, how many championships LeBron have over Jordan? How many straight years in a row has he won championships over LeBron? How many teams did he have to go on to win those championships? Okay. Okay, anyway. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, top three. Frank answered three. That is correct. The Cavaliers, the Heat, and the Lakers. And Jordan only did it with one team. Case closed. All right. Case closed. All right. And I'm glad I have this recorded as well. All right. First story for this evening. First story for this evening, guys. Let's see. Oh, did we good? Okay, I thought this got frozen for a minute there. A mom posted to find friends for 24-year-old son with Down syndrome. The flood of support shocked her. And this is from Andy Corbett of the Good News Network for May 8th of 2023. If you are new to the show, I go over the positive stories for the week. Some good stories, heroics, could be science, could be anything. You will not see any negative news on this show. As always, make sure to auto host your channel to Twitch. Share it out to your social medias. Let's try to spread some positivity in 2023. And as well, visit thegoodnewsnetwork.org as they always share some good stories from this month, last month, last year, all the way back to years prior. That is thegoodnewsnetwork.org. If you guys are ready, we got 9 stories to get to, 2 videos tonight, and I could be a little bit of a rush this evening. Again, we got a little bit of storms this evening, but I kind of want to be safe and sorry and try to get as much story out as I can. You might hear some ringing going off in my computer if there's like any warnings coming up or anything. So if you do hear anything, it's probably just my other computer telling me, hey, there's lightning around or anything. All right. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. Nancy, hello. So good to see you. No Rumble. Just kidding. We'll talk about Rumble maybe later if I have time. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for your Prime sub. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. 8 months in a row. Do appreciate you, Nancy, for the Prime sub. All right, let's get started with our first story of the evening. If you guys are ready, let's get started with our first story. Here we go. Christian Bowers has Down syndrome, but likes to do normal guy stuff, like go bowling and play video games. Making friends was never hard for the young man, now 24, until he finished school and found, as many people without Down syndromes do for that matter, it's not as easy and straightforward to maintain a social life. Bauer's mother, Donna Herter, watched her son sink further and further into the dumps because he didn't have any friends to visit him. Um, Eventually, Herder put up a post on Facebook asking if any local guys near Rochester, Minnesota would be interested in coming to hang out with Christian for 2 hours, a service for which she was willing to offer 80, wait, hopefully that's $80 in compensation. That's confusing with the comma there, but anyway, $80 in compensation. Um, I don't know if that would be 80,000, but $80. But anyway, let's move on. A nurse on the night shift, she put the post up at 4 a.m. before ending her workday and going to sleep. When she woke up, it has amassed 5,000 comments. Quote, I was freaking out. My hands were shaking. I was sweating. I was just looking for some local guys. I didn't want to invite like the entire world into our house, she told CBS News. Her friends encouraged her to calm down and take a closer look at the comments, in which she found parents offering suggestions and other volunteering to help. So there's mom and son right there. Frank says the Royal Rumble. Nope. Her knees were weak, arms were heavy. Mom was trying to get me to sing. That's not gonna happen. The lyrics are in my head, but that's not gonna happen. Continuing on, she eventually found 7 fellows from Wentzville, Minnesota, who visit Christian once a week on a rotating schedule. Herder says her son goes to sleep with a smile on his face now and is excited about life in general and of the future as well. Friendships are important for people born with Down syndrome, and associations urge parents to plan for the eventuality of their child exiting school and needing to take a more precise attitude towards socializing. Christian occasionally attends gatherings and groups of other special needs men and women his age, but craves friendship with the rest of the population as well. Quote, and I never asked him, but I assume because it kind of makes him feel normal just for an hour or two. Hey, somebody who doesn't have Down syndrome wants to hang out with me, she said. One of the 7 friends, James Hastings, said he felt terrible that Herder had reached a point where she was trying to pay people to visit her son. Hastings, who volunteers with special needs folks, said hanging out just for a few hours to watch a movie or play video games with Christian has changed the way he looks at the world. And don't we all need a friend? Um, and I hate that he had to get to the point of like, hey, nobody really cares, or I try to go out as much, and I have this condition, and nobody really wants to be friendly with me or anything. And sadly, that's kind of a sad thing in this world today. But we also got good kind of people. Like she said, she had 5,000 comments on that post alone. So um, Christian will always have some friends with him. Um, uh, Different. Could be the same. Somebody else with Down syndrome. Could be, just a normal person. Different ways of life, and Christian will always have that um, with him, with his friendships. So, and it is kind of sad that she had to pay for it, but I'm pretty sure most of these people are just like, keep your money. We're just here to help Christian, make him happy, and hopefully have a lasting friendship with him. So to start off our show, a mom posted to find friends for 24-year-old son with Down syndrome. The flood of support shocked her, and this is for Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for May 8th of 2023. Let's continue on with story number 2 tonight here on our Ray of Sunshine. And the Good News Network is doing a little bit of a kind of a little special here. Um, on some of their um, Monday stories, and they call it Miracle Monday, which they interview some homeless people and try to help them out with their stories and reconnecting with people and stuff like that. So this was one of the posts. Homeless for 28 years, Linda is offered a miracle reunion with her family and moves back home. And this is from the Miracle Message. That is the name of the group, and it's from May 8th of 2023. Let's catch up on comments before I get started with the story, though. Um, okay, I get past them all while trying to get me to sing Eminem. Nancy with the hearts. Sharon says that was nice for the friends to do there, for Christian there. And Sharon says, I guess I'll be nice and have to hang out with Frank. We're being nice to hang out with Frank, and where is he? Gone. Watching junior hockey over me. So it's whatever. He'll be back on, and I don't know if he'll give me a score or anything, but uh, it is what it is. Anyway, all right. So let's continue on with our second story again. Homeless for 28 years, Linda is offered a miracle reunion with her family and moves back home. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started with our second story for this evening. Just in time for Mother's Day, this week's Miracle Monday column showcased a heartwarming family reunion for a woman who had been living on the streets for 28 years and finally got the chance to return home to Wisconsin. Quote, we waited 28 years, every year, every day, every hour, just wondering where she was and if we were ever going to find her. Afraid of that phone call that something happened to her and no one knew who her family was, said Angie, Linda's younger sister, when they all gathered at the backyard picnic table. Her life was about to change when Linda met Gabby, who worked for Miracle Messages in South Florida. Gabby had spoken with her several times before, but on a Tuesday night in January, Linda finally decided to share one of her dreams. Although she felt scared and apprehensive of what might happen, she would like to try to reconnect with her mother and children. Quote, Gabby sat with me on the ground that night and it was cold. She took down my information. I will never forget that, Linda recalled. Gabby, I love you. You're going to be part of this family forever. So I want to say this is Linda, the one that's covered it. We're in Wisconsin. Hopefully they will tell them the story. Hopefully. Um, and that may be Gabby. Yes, there you go. Gabby from the Miracle Messages there with the hat there with the cross in the back and the paperwork. So there they are there. As we continue on. Struggling with addiction and chronic illnesses, Linda was living unsheltered under the 14th Street Overton Bridge in Miami. She asked Gabby and Miracle Messages to help her reconnect with her mother and her kids, who she hadn't seen since they were small children and who were now in their 30s. Gabby explained to her how the Miracle Messages reunification program worked and asked Linda if she had a message that she would like us to pass along to her kids if we were able to find them. Her message to them was, I miss you, I love you. In less than a week, an internet sleuth who volunteers for the team found her mother, Darlene, who immediately said she wanted to reconnect with Linda. She called the rest of her family to let them know Linda had been found. Um, Continuing on with the story. Quote, the only way I can explain it is that it's a miracle, Darlene told Gabby. I never gave up hope of finding her. Linda's children, Evelyn and Marcos, haven't heard any updates from their mom in over 2 years when they got the call from Miracle Messages and immediately booked a flight to Miami. Gabby drove the siblings around the neighborhood where she had last talked to Linda. Even though they struggled to find her, the day was full of hope, and soon Linda was located and agreed to go back home with them. So there's Linda right there. Linda welcomes Gabby to Wisconsin. So there they are in Wisconsin. Still no location where they are in Wisconsin though, so it might be just no location. Just know they're in Wisconsin. Continuing on. Shortly after arriving in Wisconsin, Linda enrolled in a treatment program. A few months later, Linda's family invited Gabby to a family reunion to thank her for bringing their family back together. And Miracle Messages captured an emotional video that was posted on YouTube. During the reunion, Gabby had the opportunity to ask Linda what she missed the most while she was away. She responded, "Being together with my sisters and my mom. I am so grateful. There are not words to describe it. I didn't know how they were going to respond. Thank you, Gabby and Miracle Messages. There's always been a missing link in this family, and Linda brought us back together," said Angie, Linda's sister. "I feel like we are whole again." So, what a good story, and especially from this past Mother's Day. Um, Homeless for 28 years and just have that one person from Miracle Messages just come out and say, "Hey, um, first what you have to say to your family, and then try to help her get back and reconnect to her family." So, um, and then thirdly, Gabby, who worked for Miracle Messages, is now um, can say a part of the family now, for just helping her reconnect her. So, a very very heartwarming story there. On this Miracle Monday post that they always post up on Mondays. So, um, very very unique posts that they're starting to do now on this website. I took a look at the first one. It was a little bit lengthy, and I thought I would post it on one of my shows, but it was a little bit lengthy. But they had a good thing going of what they were going to do with Miracle Monday. So, Miracle Monday, homeless for 28 years, Linda has offered Miracle Reunion with her family and moves back home. And this is from Miracle Messages from May 8th of 2023. All right, let's move on to story number 3. And if anybody's joining in, welcome to Ray of Sunshine. We have 9 positive stories for this evening and 2 positive videos, short videos, this evening. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the stories right now as we are heading into story number 3 and kind of a good invention. What's this? That the country of Greece is making to its beaches here. Greece makes hundreds of beaches accessible to wheelchairs with self-operating ramps into the water. And this is for Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for May 9th of 2023. Handy beach accessible wheelchair operating ramps to the water. So we're going to take a look at that, and you see the ramp right there going into the water there. Incredible invention. So we're going to take a look at this story right now. So here we go. Describing access to the sea as an inalienable human right, Greek tourism authorities are retrofitting 287 beaches across the country with self-operating wheelchair ramps. Self-operating means that wheelchair users can operate it by themselves without assistance from a friend or an employee, offering a flexible freedom rarely found in difficult terrain such as beach sand. So far, work crews have already installed the SeaTrack system on 147 beaches where disabled people can enjoy swimming in the country's famous blue waters. The scope of the project goes beyond beaches and has seen the Acropolis of Athens equipped with a wheelchair elevator, and many other sites receive renovations to make wheelchair-bound visitors more welcome, including bathrooms, sidewalks and walkways, snack bars, and other amenities. Um, Continuing on with a quote. People with disabilities and people with limited mobility can engage in activities such as swimming that contribute to their physical and mental health. Vasasilis Kikalatis is a weird name, but kind of a crazy name as well. Greece tourism's minister announced at a press conference. SeaTrack does not provide only independent access to the sea. Ignatios Fotou, who helped develop the technology, to the Washington Post. It provides dignity and independence to people with mobility issues that want to enjoy swimming. They can choose where to go and ask their friends to join them, not the other way around. The government of the country created a website for all the info needed to plan a wheelchair included trips to the beaches of Greece, including a map of all the beaches nearby equipped with the sea tracks. So we're going to look at the video here. It is in Greek. No one's not going to speak, but the words are in Greek. But um, it will show you though how the sea track works on the beach though. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so you get to see the sea track ramp in motion there, and again, a very, very unique invention, just for wheelchair people who, you know, want to adventure out into the water and swim and have their physical activity. Now they can do it over there in Greece, and I'm pretty sure there are about, they said there's 287 beaches across the country with them. So, um, very cool invention, and hopefully it goes well over there. And like I said, if I see a good invention, hopefully it will make its way to the States because pretty sure people would love that to just go in the waters and swim and have a good time having a physical activity and explore nature a little bit. So cool stuff over there in Greece. So Greece makes hundreds of beach accessible to wheelchairs with self-operating ramps into the water, and this is for Andy Corbally of the Good News Network for May 9th of 2023. So that's awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're going to move on to story number four. So we're going to go to one invention with beach ramps. And we're going to go on to another invention involving a trash bin. So a man builds a motorized trash bin complete with steering wheel and horn that goes 8 miles an hour. And this is for Andy Corbally of the Good News Network for May 10th of 2023. Hopefully he feels comfortable in that, number one, looking at the picture. Nancy says that was pretty cool. That is pretty cool to have the ramp out there in the water. And the water looks so crystal clear over there in Greece. Um, Sharon says, what a neat invention, very good invention. And Malwell says, makes sense because Greece is about 90% beaches. That makes sense, right? To have, you know, have that so everybody can feel invited. No one's left out, and like the story says, the wheelchair people can ask friends, "Hey, do you want to come out and have a swim with me?" So, makes sense to not leave anybody out. So that was a very good invention. All right. So we're going to check this invention out here. Again, a man builds a motorized trash bin, complete with a steering wheel and a horn that goes 8 miles an hour. Is this thing even street legal? We're about to find out. So here we go, guys, with story number four. Um, there are all kinds of ways to make people smile. You can tell jokes, offer free hugs, or if you're this guy, you build the world's only road legal wheelie bin. That answers my question. Taxed and registered, the electric motor can propel the creation along England's roads at 8 miles per hour. 8 miles per hour. Inventor Kevin Nix says part of the reason he does what he does is just to make people smile. Quote, there's a lot of negativity in the world one way or another at the moment, but what I try to do is bring some fun to people, says the almost 60-year-old inventor. He often drives with the lid open for safety reasons, although a series of mounted cameras allow to him drive with the lid closed for a real shock to passerby. He had originally set out to make the world's fastest lawnmower, but discovered that A, it had already been done, and B, the record was 140 miles per hour. So there's him with the trash bin, with a smile, by the way. So that's a neat bin there. Continuing on, setting his sights instead on the world record for fastest motorized wheelie bin, he discovered the record was held by a man who did it in honor of his friend who had terminal cancer. So he decided to let the record stand and outfitted a slower model. So that was kind of nice, for him to let the other person keep the record there. Kind of nice there. So let's take a look at this 8 mile per hour wheelie bin that Mr. Nix has created here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video.
Hi there, my name's Kevin Nix. Originally known for creating the world's fastest shed. I've also got the world's fastest wheelbarrow, several other things as well. This is my latest creation. This one isn't fast. Top speed of 8 miles an hour. It's a wheelie bin. I started the project some time ago actually, because I was going to make it so that it was fast, but then I had a change of plan. So I've done it now, so it does 8 miles an hour. It is actually taxed, so I can take it on the road. Part of the reason I do what I do is just to make people smile. You know, there's a lot of negativity in the world, one way or another at the moment. And what I try to do is bring some fun to people. I have got cameras on it. You probably can't see them from there. They're tucked up there. So I will be able to drive it on cameras, but I tend to drive it with the lid open purely for safety, you know, so I can see the traffic. But for a bit of fun, I'll be able to shut the lid and drive it up the road on cameras. It's all electric. What's difficult about building the things that I do, I look to see who else has done them. You come up with an idea, you think, well, you know, I'll build the world's fastest lawnmower. Already been done many times, and the speed record for that is 145 miles an hour. I'm not going to compete with that. So I try and find things that nobody has done, so everything that I do is unique. There is a fast wheelie bin, and for certain reasons I didn't want to take the record off the man, because he did the record for a friend of his who was terminally ill. Sadly, the man's passed away. So I didn't want to take that record off of him. I go all over the country with what I do. This weekend coming, I'm in Huddersfield. The next weekend, I'm in Yorkshire, and we're filming this in Chipping Norton, Oxfordshire, which is Jeremy Clarkson's here, Diddley Squat. He moved here just to be close to me, apparently.
So imagine if he put this on an American roadway. I want to see how people would react. But there was Mr. Kevin Nix there with the smiley face, 8 mile per hour trash bin. Um, let's see. Let me catch on comments. Y'all had some good comments. Nancy said, "What's the song like Jimmy?" It sounded like Jimi Hendrix, but I wannabe. Yeah, wannabe Hendrix probably was doing that, but the music was all right. Malwell says the smiley face on the front absolutely kills me. I was kind of surprised with the smiley face. I thought maybe it was just a regular bin, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, created a face out of it. So that looks neat. I wonder if the eyes work with the eyes light up. That's kind of neat. Perfect teeth and love his enthusiasm. Yeah, he had a good enthusiasm about it. Um, that's an amazing invention. However, for 8 miles per hour, um, I might want the bin to go a little bit faster, but understandably so why he didn't let it go a little bit faster for the world record. So that's kind of a good sport for him to do that. So, but still, an amazing invention that will kind of turn heads and think this dude's driving a trash bin around the roads, and it is street legal. So um, that's good stuff. That was Mr. Kevin Nix there did there. So a man builds motorized trash bin complete with steering wheel and horn that goes 8 miles an hour. And this is for Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for May 10th of 2023. All right, let's move on to story number 5. Halfway through stories this evening. And coming up, we're going to have 2 short videos for this evening. One to recap some of the positive stories from 2023. And then we're going to have our famous quote segment to end the show. Story number 5, I think I want to bring this up because it's kind of weird to have this here. Solar farms erected in the Gobi Desert are set to power 1.5 million Chinese households. And this is for Andy Corbley of the Good News Network from May 11th of 2023. Who would have thought solar farms will be in the desert? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Again, I said science and stuff is part of the show, and this is a kind of a good picture. You would think you will see these in rural lands, but seeing it on a desert, kind of shocking. And look at all those panels all across that area. Very impressive. But let's go ahead and take a look at the story here. Story number 5 of 9. Let me go ahead and get myself some water as well. All right, here we go. Aside from teacups and rice bowls, China doesn't do anything on a small scale. To wit, the recently completed solar array in Ningxia, Hui, is gargantuan, capable of powering 1.5 million homes. There are going to be some words that I'm going to struggle with, especially Chinese towns. So I do apologize. But anyway, let's continue. Billed as 1 million kilowatts of capacity and capable of generating 1.8 billion kilowatt hours per year, the Ningxia Hui array is the first of several giant renewable energy projects slated for construction in the arid western areas of the Gobi, Tengger, in Taklamakan deserts. China Energy Investment Corp says it is the first solar farm in the country to include an ultra-high voltage power transmission channel that will bring the electricity generated there to the central Hunan province. The transmission is a result of Hunan having a population of 66 million people compared to Ningxa's 7 million. In their most recent 5-year plan, the Chinese government outlined their intention to install 100 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2026, particularly solar and wind in the desert regions. The National Energy Administration said installed capacity of renewable energy in China continued to expand in the first quarter, reaching 47.4 million kilowatts, an increase of 86.5% compared with the same period last year. Like most rural Chinese provinces, Ningxia, along with Xinjiang and Inner Mongolia, the provinces wherein rest of the 3 deserts mentioned above rely heavily on coal for electricity, and the major installations of solar and wind are hoped to accelerate economic development in these mostly agricultural economies. In 1.5 million people, and that's a lot of kilowatts also, just to see on the desert area of the Gobi in China. And again, just look at all those solar panels there. Definitely will light up a lot of homes and give a lot of people there a lot of energy. Um, but it just amazes me that this is from a desert and not like, say, like a farmland somewhere in the Midwest or anywhere in a little bit of those cities that will have a little bit of those solar panels. This is out in a desert. So kind of neat. Thought y'all would like to see the picture of that as well. Well, thank you for the stretch. I will do that before I start the next story. So solar farms erected in Gobi Desert set the power of 1.5 million Chinese households, and this is from Andy Corley of the Good News Network from May 11th of 2023. Mawel says, to be fair, what part of the world gets more sun than a desert? Probably China, wouldn't it? China, somewhere in the Middle East, maybe, like India, Saudi Arabia, um, mostly desert areas, mostly. Um, so, you got a point there. Uh, Brenda, hey Brenda, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Long time no see. Also, hopefully you're doing well. So good to see you in here. We're just wrapping up story number 5 of the Gobi Desert and the solar power farms there in China. Just an incredible picture to look at as well. So, all right, as we move on to story number 6, hopefully everybody's enjoying the stories this evening. This is 6 of 9, and before we get started, I'm gonna read the title, and then we're gonna go ahead and stretch. A woman lost 8 days in the Australian bush, survives to see her 4 children again, and it's miraculous. And this is from Andy Corley of the Good News Network from May 12th of 2023. Yes, everybody says hi to Brenda. Brenda's a good person, a good moderator as well. And let's go ahead and stretch. Shall we go behind here? Get our stretch on. Make sure y'all can see me. I think I can see me. I'm in the little box here. Go ahead and stretch out. Do one of the work stretches I do. Okay. Like that. And then we do these little wrist rolls at work as well. Something like this or whatever. Good stretching exercise. All right. All right. Thank you for the stretch, Mother. I do appreciate you for that. Really do appreciate you for that. So it's kind of good to get up and stretch around a little bit there. Um, Brenda is doing well, heading out to dinner for our anniversary. Oh, well, happy anniversary to you and your husband. Um, Happy anniversary. Hopefully, it's a good dinner um, um, this evening. Nancy says, I'm taking my walk around the house after I iced my knee, so I guess that counts for a stretch. Yes, that does. Walk around the house after I iced my knee, that does count as a stretch. Good job, Nancy. Good job. Happy anniversary, anniversary to Brenda and Mr. Brenda. Yes, happy anniversary indeed. Rack up the dinner bill as well. All right. All right, let's continue on. So again, woman lost 8 days in the Australian bush, survives to see her 4 children again, and it's miraculous. So if you guys are ready, a little bit of a heroic story, I will say. And there's the person right there we're about to read. So let's go ahead and get started. Um, is this a spam? Oh, yes, it is. Please, yeah, that is. Da, 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 da. Let me see if I can get rid of the person here, or if somebody will beat me to it. But yeah, that's a spam comment. They always like to come. Oh, it's banned. Okay. Thank you, Brenda. See, right on point. I hope you enjoyed the band hammer. Exactly. Thank you, Brenda, so much. See, she got to ban someone on her anniversary. But thank you, Brenda, so much for that. Thank you so much. We always get one in every what 3, 4, 5 months, so it was bound to happen. I haven't had those have the ban comments, the spam comments in a long time, so it was going to happen. Woohoo! She did it. She did. So now she's going to have a great anniversary dinner now that she got one ban out of the way. All right, and they enjoyed the band hammer as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the story, and then we'll continue on with the comments here. Um, I was ecstatic to have this outcome, says Detective Inspector Jason Shepard. The experienced policeman knew that someone reported missing for 8 days in Australia's rugged outback has a slim chance. Quote, it is miraculous, he told ABC News, just 30 minutes after having prepared a statement that mother of four, Ricky Mitchell, had not been found and that the rescue crews and homicide detectives were nearing the end of their search. Then the 38-year-old woman from Queensland turned up on the Flinders Highway covered in cuts and scrapes, but alive. Continuing on, the ordeal started when Mitchell and her partner of 7 months were traveling from Townsville in Charters Tower in North Queensland, and they decided to stop at a rest area. Her partner decided to go visit a friend nearby for a quick hello, while she decided to do a bit of swimming and walking at a swimming area near the rest stop. As unlikely as the story already sounds, this is surprisingly typical of stories of people getting lost in wild country. They underestimate how easy it is to become disoriented and get lost at distances of mere hundreds of yards from parking lots, campsites, or roads. Quote, it's common knowledge that if you're out in the bush in the heat with little food and little water, that you can become disoriented quite quickly, Detective Inspector Shepard said on this point. I would imagine that she's then probably headed off in the wrong direction. The report leaves out any details of the events between that moment and the moment of rescue 8 days later, when she borrowed an ATV she found on a ranch property she probably didn't know she was on, and drove it until she heard the sounds of Flinders Highway and ran into the ranch owner who knew the search was taking place in the area. Excuse me. Rescue teams report her being covered in light scrapes and her feet were cut open and bleeding, but no major injuries besides. Shepard said that while she obviously was not a trained survivalist, she must have known a thing or two to have lasted so long in the heat without a ready source of fresh water and food. About 20 emergency service personnel partook in a search that was difficult from the start because it was a rest area. Footprints were everywhere, and so the few tracks they were able to follow out into the bush led nowhere. Everyone was so happy to hear the mother of four was safe, and the story is a poignant reminder, whether you're in Appalachia or the bush, of how easy it is to accidentally walk oneself into a survival situation. And especially out in the outback of Australia, um, that's going to be pretty tough. Um, it, the heat, the desert, and like the story says, no food, no water. You need that water to survive that heat, and to do that for 8 days, that's very incredible for her. That she survived it and found the ATV and drove to the highway and be like, hey, um, I don't know if I hear that she probably looked at someone that was looking for her and probably say, hey, I'm here, I need help, and all of that. So, um, kind of a a little bit of a winter survival, but in the summer where you be in the winter and if you get stuck, say like we had a whole bunch of snowstorm stories where people are buried in snow or somewhere in a mountain and they need heat, food, and all of that. So reverse that to the desert where you need water and food and probably somewhere with some AC as well. But I'm glad she made it out alive there in the outback there in Australia. So good survival indeed. So a woman lost 8 days in the Australian bush, survives to see her four children again, and is miraculous. And this is for Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for May 12th of 2023. All right, we are on story number 7. And I think our next couple ones are some animal stories here. And I think this one only has the video though. But adorable video shows how Mama Otter teaches her pup to swim in dramatic fashion. And this is from the Good News Network for May 14th of 2023. Both are miserable. They are. You can, like I said, in a mountain, probably in 10 to 20 degree weather, being stuck, that's not good. And then you're being in the desert, that could be 80 to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. These are all Fahrenheit. I wouldn't know what Celsius is, but um, that could be difficult as well. With no, again, water or in the cold, any heat, food, stuff to survive until you get help. So both are really, really, really miserable indeed. Nancy says, "Oh my goodness, my son would love to see this. He loves otters." Oh, and Sharon says, "Cute." So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this. There is a video with this. So again, an adorable video shows how Mama Otter teaches her pup to swim in dramatic fashion. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started with our next story. Story number 7. Um, take a sweet Mother's Day moment to check out how this doting river otter takes her baby to the water's edge for its first swimming lesson. The video shows a 13-year-old North American river otter, Tilly, teaching her 4-month-old pup to swim. And although completely normal, the techniques can look quite drastic to humans. Mo was born to the rescued otter in late January and only took his first dip in April, with a lot of help from his mom. Becca Van Beek, zookeeper at the Oregon Zoo, explained that, shockingly, swimming doesn't come naturally to river otter pups. They have to be taught by their mothers. Quote, so far, Tilly's been an amazing teacher. It might look kind of scary to a casual observer, but it's a very natural behavior. Baby otters are extremely buoyant, so Mo has built-in water wings for his swim lessons. This is how baby otters learn to swim in the wild, and it's exactly what we've been hoping to see. Mo, named after the Molalla River in Clackamas County, is the first river otter to be born at the Oregon Zoo. So let's say this is Mom and Mo teaching teaching Mo there to swim there. Um, Continuing on, both Tilly and the pup's father, BC, are rescue animals who had a rough start to life. Due to habitat loss, river otters are considered rare outside the Pacific Northwest, so Mo's birth was especially important. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the video here. Nancy says, we saw river otters in Galveston. They are huge. Oh, wow. So, so apparently, I guess these are rare species now of river otters. They say it's rare to see them outside the Pacific Northwest. Nancy saw them in Texas, so they're rarity. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at the video here of the mama otter in Moo. Here we go. That's very neat. How the mama otter just looking at that on the video, just like grabbing it by its tail with the mouth, like, "Hey, get back!" So it's kind of interesting to take a look and see how the communication is. Like, if the otter's not doing well with the swimming, does the mama just been like, "Hey, all right, let's go back and try it again," like they did there? And it's interesting. It's kind of interesting. I want to know what how the communication is to make sure, hey, you make sure the otter is swimming right. But I think the mom was always right near the baby otter to make sure um, that the otter's doing the swimming right. Like there, I think she's just like, you know, just guiding the otter to swim correctly on that picture there. But very incredible to look and watch on there. We get the comments here. Nancy says we saw them in the one building in Moody Gardens. Nice. Um, Mawel says sea otters are more rare than river otters, but I believe both are endangered to different degrees. True that. I agree. Um, I don't know, because Mawel, you did go to the North Carolina Zoo recently, and I was trying to think, have we seen any sea otters in the zoo while we went? So I don't know if I took any pictures of them. We might have, but I don't know if the zoo has sea otters. Um, Brenda says, "Oh, love them. Yeah, very cute creatures there." And Nancy says the otters we have in our lake at the cabin are very small. Another species. Oh, so are they near the river? Is there a river near the cabin? I think you said lake though, so that could be different. I don't know. It could be the same. I think it could be the same. It could be river otters, probably. Interesting. It depends on the water level. It could they could be river otters. In that lake maybe. And Mollis is at the zoo. Are river otters? Okay. Uh, Nancy says, but they aren't big. Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe we have like a picture and we just try to look it up. Be like, is it a river otter? Is it a sea otter? Or is it a brand new otter? Don't know. We have seen new species of stuff. I have done stories of new species of animals on here before. So I will not rule that out. No river, just a very small stream between lakes. Huh, interesting. Interesting. We have to see pictures of that one day and compare them. That's very interesting. Let me close that story out. Adorable video shows how Mama Otter teaches her pup to swim in dramatic fashion. And this is from the Good News Network from May 14th of 2023. Very interesting story, but also a very, very cute story to add on. So I thought maybe we're getting near the end. We'll put some nice stories here at the end here. And and our next story, dogs. And these breeds were named America's Most Spoiled Dogs in a new poll. And this is from the Good News Network for May 14th of 2023. Do you own America's Most Spoiled Dogs? We will find out. All right, catch on Nancy's comment. But they are way smaller than the ones in Galveston. Okay. And she says otters are found throughout Wisconsin, but most of them live in the northern part of the state. So where the Great Lakes, right? Do y'all border the Great Lakes? I think y'all do. Um, Otters are most often confused with mink that live on land and muskrats that live in water. Otters are the largest member of the weasel family, weighing up to 30 pounds. Interesting facts that Nancy put there. I should pin it, by the way. Let's pin it. Thank you for the facts there, Nancy. So we can do a little 5-10 minute pin there. They would be like, why is he posting an otter post? Like, because we're going to learn some facts with some otters. So there we go. So they're out in the Great Lakes region. So I don't know. They could be sea otters. They could be sea otters. That's kind of interesting. We have to look this up. It's like an investigation. So they could be sea otters. Copied and paste from APG Media of Wisconsin. All right. We're going to make sure of that as well, that they get their credit. If someone is asking why it's with the otters. But good stuff, Nancy. Thank you so much for that information. All right. So again, these breeds were named America's Most Spoiled Dogs in a new poll. And we're going to take a look at this poll right now. Very interesting poll um, that they did here. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started with our 8th story of 9. So this is our next to last story. So here we go. Do you own an Australian Shepherd, a Border Collie, or a Corgi? According to a new poll, you might just own America's most spoiled dog. A full 60% of the 2,000 dog owners surveyed swear that they own the world's most spoiled dog. One common link, 2/3 of them are talking about a herding dog like the 3 named above. Non-sporting dogs like bulldogs, Boston Terriers, and Shiba Inus came in second place for the nation's most luxuriated breeds, earning 64% of the vote. In third place, with 59%, are terrier breeds like Russell Terriers, Scottish Terriers, and Staffordshire Terriers. Similarly, 79% of herding dog owners claimed their dogs live like royalty at home. An overwhelming majority, 96%, said they spoil their pets in a wide variety of ways, and 37% treat their dogs so well they take the chance to switch bodies with their pups for a day if they could. Um, Continuing on, when asked what they would do for that day, respondents said they play all day long, which came in at 47%, sleep in until noon, 42%, and sleep where they usually wouldn't be allowed to, 37%. People's penchant for giving their dogs a life of luxury can be explained by 4 in 5 who treat and talk to their dogs as if they were human. Many talk to them as if they were children, 32%, and others speak as if they were babies or adults, 18% for each. Many dogs get treated to meals being prepared by hand in the kitchen. Commissioned by Solid Gold and conducted by OnePoll, the random double opt-in survey found two-thirds of terrier owners love giving their dogs extra treats throughout the day, while 29% of toy breed owners love to serve their pups the finest bottled or filtered water in their bowl. So we got a couple of pups here um, getting spoiled in bed over there. I knew y'all would love the dog story because we got some comments coming up here. So uh, let me go ahead and complete the story here. A third of women, 32%, admit they likely treat their dogs more luxurious than themselves, and another third treat them better than their kids and significant others, 16%. Quote, most of us will make the claim our dog is the most spoiled dog, but there's a clear trend pointing towards smaller breeds as being the most doted on, said Yvette Terziska, Vice President of Marketing at Solid Gold. Ahead of Mother's Day, the survey also revealed the dog mom persona honored by 75% of women surveyed. They believe dog moms should be celebrated on Mother's Day. They should, just as much as human moms. The only challenge with that is trying to convince their fur babies, so accustomed to being spoiled themselves, to turn the tables and deliver extra of love and affection of their dog moms this Sunday. So, and then they're closing out with the polls here. What to do if you wake up as a dog? And again, 47% says play all day long. 42% sleep until noon. 37% sleep where I usually don't sleep. 34% beg humans to play with me. 32% bark at a stranger. That's kind of nice, I guess. 32% roll around in the nearest patch of grass. 32% chew on my favorite toy, excuse me. 29% demand to be carried everywhere. 23% beg for pets. And 22% get as dirty as possible. So those are your polls there for if you were a dog and how people would treat their dogs in a luxurious way. And and again, the winner of the America's Most Spoiled Dogs are the herding dogs. So, like the Australian Shepherd, the Border Collie, and the Corgi. So, closing out this story here, these breeds were named America's Most Spoiled Dogs in a new poll, and this is from the Good News Network from May 14th of 2023. Let's catch on comments because I saw the comments flying. I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna have some comments here. Um, okay. Mama says, "Wow, I would have guessed the spoiled dogs would be toy-sized dogs like pugs, or non-sporting dogs like poodles. I would think that too, like a poodle and all of that. But I guess it depends on how many people own them, I guess. So, um, it's a little bit of a surprise on that one. But again, depends on how many got them. Nancy says, doesn't everyone talk to their dogs like their own children? Exactly. Exactly. That's why I said they should be dog moms. Some people talk to them like their children. They're like family. So, um, let's see. Yeah. See, Brenda does. I do. They're my children. I miss them every day. Nancy said, I don't know where to find Whispers. Oh, um, Whispers is the little chat box, the little bubble box thingy um, on top of your screen. On the mobile, I can help you on that one. Ella, hey Ella, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Just in time for our last story before we get the videos here. Let me help Nancy out real quick here. There we go. So here's my. We both got Android, I think. Oh, there we go. So that little chat bubble there. It says live on my end, but it's like create or something next to it. That will be Whispers. But that's the symbol that will be for Whispers. And also, it will pop up if you go on your PC, it will pop up on the bottom of your screen as someone that whispered to you as well. Um, let's see. So, Brenda, it's great to see Brenda in here too. But Ella, it's so good to see you in here. Hopefully, you're doing good. And give Ella a follow as well. Um, give her a shout out. She plays some music late at night. If you have insomnia or anything, she goes on her ukulele and play music, play some music, random music, um, music that you request. And also, she has a business with some bunnies and some bunny merch. So go to mybunnyvalentine.com and purchase some of your bunny stuff, bunny merch, and most of the proceeds will go to bunny rescues. So, and it's so good to see Ella in here. Um, oh, and thank you for the shout out, Brenda, to her as well on the other end. So, got her a double shout out as well. All right. So, with that being said, we are ending out story number 8 there, and we're about to go on to our last possible story. And our last one, we're going back to a previous story that happened at the end of December, maybe the beginning of January. But um, I have covered this story um, when these people got stranded. So now, Americans who took in the stranded Koreans during Christmas blizzard just flew over the ocean to visit their house. So if you remember, the story will tell you. There was a big blizzard in New York, and the Koreans here, they were stranded on a bus, and they were on a bus going somewhere, but they got stranded. So they got to um, this person's house here, and they spend the night there. Just fellowshipping and everything there. So now, I guess they're kind of say repaying the favor. We'll see in the story. So now they're going over to their house over there in maybe Korea, but I don't know. We'll see that down in the story there. But just to recap, what happened um, when they got stranded over there in New York, over there, and this is from the Indicator of the Good News Network for May 16th of 2023. So this story came out today. So if you guys are ready, you're welcome, Ella. No problem. And gotta go for real this time. Have a great evening, everyone. Brenda, have a great evening. Enjoy your anniversary dinner tonight. Run up the bill. And just have a good time tonight with you and your husband. Happy anniversary again, and thank you for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. And she got one band out of the way as a gift. All right. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and close out positive stories with an update story. So how about that? So let's go ahead and get started. During the record-setting blizzard in New York State last winter, a tour bus of South Korean visitors to our shores found hospitality with two locals, the Campagnas, when their bus got stuck in the snow in Buffalo. Staying 2 nights, snowplows eventually had those Koreans on their way. Now, 5 months later, they're getting the chance to return the favor. Fascinated by Korean culture, stemming from a love of Korean food, Alex and Andrea Capena are now in South Korea on a vacation to keep the fire of that memorable snow day alive. Quote, to see everyone in Korea again is such a blessing, Andrea told reporters in Seoul on Sunday. She and her husband arrived on Saturday at the invitation of the Korea Tourism Organization. The organization wasn't the only one who wanted to thank Alex for the cross Pacific act of kindness, because when the story went viral on social media following reporting from the New York Times and Good News Network, many Korean businesses wanted to reward the couple. So there's the happy couple there in Seoul, South Korea there, as we continue on. Quote, they made us really feel at home. After our memorable time together, I thought I should do good deeds for others too, said Scott Park, one of the tour group who the companions wanted to see and who turned for their interview. One of the fonder memories was all the Korean food cooked by the sheltering tourists after discovering a wealth of, a, oh my God, authentic Korean ingredients. There you go. I was trying to get authentic out. Um, and crockery in the Campagna household. Quote, I think with how difficult things have been with COVID, after so much sadness, pain, and losses, the world was hungry for a heartwarming story. I think that's why the story resonated with so many people, Andrea told the Korea Herald. So there's the update there. They went to Korea. Um, again, the nice people that stayed with them for 2 nights offered up their home for opening, and they also get to visit South Korea and their culture and and the food and everything. So, kind of a nice olive branch, say, hey, we helped you. It's our return to help you as well, and enjoy um, our country and gratitude for helping us in that blizzard. So, I thought maybe this would be a great closing to the story and a great update to the story, because I remember this so fondly. It was this story, and then the other one was a school that they were in the blizzard and they were trapped, um, and the guy came in to rescue them, and he got rewarded by the town. He helped rescue them as well. So a lot of rewards from that blizzard that happened on Christmas Day in December up there in Buffalo. So cool stuff there. So Americans who took in stranded Koreans during Christmas blizzard just flew over the ocean to visit their house. And this is for Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for May 16th of 2023. Ellis says that's cool. I want to visit South Korea too. I think I want to too. South Korea, Japan, Philippines. Just visit the whole Pacific area. That'll be nice. And Sharon says that's so cool, right? Cool stuff there. All right. So that ends positive stories. And we're going to go on to positive videos. Again, 2 short videos this evening. Um, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and mute. Well, not mute me, but. All right, there we go. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some ads that come up when I put YouTube on. Um, 2 short videos this evening. Our first one, if you cannot believe it, We are almost halfway through 2023. So I thought maybe this is a good time to go ahead and recap some famous positive stories that happened so far this year. Okay, waiting for the ad here. Okay. And in our second video as well will be our famous quotes section, and I think it's just a random mix of quotes for this evening, from Benjamin Franklin, Mark Twain. They named them something in their title there, so we'll listen to them after this video, and then that will be the end of the show. So we got two videos. This is the first one, and before we get started. Nancy says, I wish I had done that earlier when I was younger and my body was working." So, I mean, it's not too late though. Not too late. It's never too late, Nancy. Ellis says, "I've been hooked on a Korean American YouTuber." Oh, um, can you put the name of the YouTuber? Maybe I will follow this YouTuber and see and see what kind of content they make. So, all right, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with our top 7 positive news stories from 2023 so far. So, hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. And here we go.
About something a little more uplifting. Welcome to Positive Listicles, and today we are counting down on the top 7 positive news stories of 2023. These are crazy times we are living in, and these 7 news stories will give you hope for the remainder of 2023. So here are the top 7 positive news stories of 2023. If you like the video and find the content meaningful, then kindly press the super thanks button and contribute whatever you can to the channel. Your contributions will help us create more engaging and informative positive videos. Number 7. This crew of street veterinarians treat the pets of LA's homeless residents of Skid Row. There aren't many willing to voluntarily go out to spend the day on Skid Row, and even fewer with the goal of giving away free stuff, but Dr. Quayne Stewart, also known as the Street Vet, is nearly famous because of it. Quayne runs the non-profit Project Street Vet that takes donations and volunteers out onto the streets and to homeless encampments to provide free medical care for their pets, and last year they were able to help nearly 600 animals receive medical care. It's estimated that 10 to 25% of the homeless population of America own pets for companionship and occasionally for security. It goes without saying that many don't have the means to take proper care of these animals, whom they often love more than anything else in the world. In 2020, he and his brother Ian started his non-profit that provides free exams, vaccines, flea medications, supplies, and information to people experiencing homelessness on how to raise their animals with the limited means they possess. Charity organizations partner with animal clinics and Project Street Vet to open pop-up clinics where the homeless can bring in their pets for even more sophisticated medical care, as well as procedures like spaying and neutering. Project Street Vet also assists qualified pet parents with their pets' veterinary care through financial assistance grants. They rely entirely on charitable contributions, and anyone who wants to donate time or money can do so at www.projectstreetvet.org. Number 6. Sri Lanka to ban single-use plastic to save elephants. Single-use plastic products will be banned in Sri Lanka to protect wild elephants who die eating the waste, the government said this month. From June, manufacturing or selling plastic cutlery, artificial flowers, and cocktail shakers will be forbidden. Single-use plastic refers to plastic items designed to be used only once before being thrown in the garbage. In Sri Lanka, plastic garbage has become a major problem for the country's wild elephant population. As human settlements increasingly invade elephants' natural habitat, elephants are forced to search for food in garbage dumps and other areas where plastic waste is common. When animals eat plastic waste, it can cause intestinal blockages, leading to starvation and malnutrition, and can also release harmful chemicals into the animal's systems, leading to death. The move to ban single-use plastic in Sri Lanka was recommended by a panel set up 18 months ago to study the impact of plastic waste on the environment and animals, and the bill was passed this month. Number 5. Hero ran a marathon every day in 2022 and then went to work at his job, raising $1 million for charity. For many, running a marathon is an accolade of life, a culturally fixed way of proving athletic ability and determination, but for Gary McKee, it's literally just another day in the office. McKee ran a marathon every day of 2022 to raise money for cancer treatment, and a simple multiplication problem of 26.2 into 365 will reveal he ran 9,500 miles during the year, equivalent to crossing the United States 3 times. He ran through 20 pairs of running shoes, and what's more, his marathon was only a prelude to going to work in the morning at the Sellafield nuclear site. On New Year's Eve, he finished his final marathon to cheering crowds and fireworks near his Cumbrian home. News came in that he had made his £1 million mark for donations to Macmillan Cancer Support and West Cumbria Hospice at Home. It's difficult to put into words how grateful we are to Gary for taking on this unbelievable challenge, said Hayley McKay, Director of Funding and Communications for Hospice at Home West Cumbria. The physical and mental strength he has shown is incomprehensible. Number 4. British company develops first tractor in the world to be completely powered by cow dung. New Holland's brand new tractor runs on liquefied methane, allowing farmers to decrease their emissions and save money on expensive diesel. But that isn't the only reason it's more efficient, as the company says the fuel can easily be produced by methane from cow pies, allowing for a more circular economic model in the most circular of industries. The pioneering tractor is claimed to be a match for the performance of standard diesel-powered versions. The groundbreaking machine was developed by British company Bennamann, which has been researching and developing biomethane production for over a decade. Waste byproducts from a herd as small as 100 cows are turned into a fuel called fugitive methane in a biomethane storage unit based on the farm. A cryogenic tank fitted on the tractor keeps the methane in liquid form at -162 degrees centigrade, giving the vehicle as much power as a diesel, but with significant emission savings. It was put through its paces during a pilot run on a farm in Cornwall, where carbon dioxide emissions were slashed from 2,500 metric tons to 500 metric tons in just a year. The company is also investigating the wider uses of the technology and hope it could one day be used to charge electric vehicles in rural locations. Number 3. Turkish stadium sees teddy bears rained down on field for earthquake victims. In a moment that will bring tears to your eyes, a packed Istanbul soccer stadium rained teddy bears down onto the field in donation and support for the children affected by the earthquakes. At exactly the 17th second of the 4th minute of the match, which corresponded to the time of the first earthquake, Besiktas JK supporters threw stuffed animals, scarves, and other toys onto the pitch, all of which will be delivered to the children living in the earthquake-hit areas with Besiktas Club aid trucks. Often soccer fans will celebrate or memorialize world events, tragedies, or celebrations when a particular minute arrives on the clock which corresponds to it. Some of the stuffed animals had cards or notes attached to the outside. The event was organized before the Turkish Super League football match between Besiktas and Antalyaspor and was called "This Toy Is My Friend." Players applauded the supporters when for a few seconds, plush toys fell like rain onto the pitch before the match was paused for a cleanup. Besiktas tweeted a video of volunteers, players, and other stadium staff packing the bears and toys into transport bags. Number 2. 29 species have recovered enough in Australia to be taken off endangered list. A large research project studying endangered species in Australia has tallied 29 recovered species, all animals that can be safely delisted from the country's endangered species list. Australia's Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act currently lists 446 species of animals in genuine need of protection, but 29 of those are no longer in need: 15 mammals, 8 birds, 4 frogs, a reptile, and a fish. Among these critters are the golden, western barred, and eastern barred bandicoots, western quoll, sooty albatross, waterfall frog, Flinders range worm lizard, yellow-footed rock wallabies, greater bilby, humpback whale, growling grass frog, Murray's cod, and others. Australia has been a focus of endangered species conservation for decades because so many of the animal varieties are found nowhere else, and the fact that 29 of them are no longer endangered is a milestone for celebration. Number 1. In Mega Milestone, India connects 80 million rural households to water supply in just 4 years. India's Jal Jeevan mission of tap water access continues to be one of the great unsung stories of human development. Almost 80 million households have been provided with access to a tap water connection since the program's launch in August 2019, bringing the total to 111 million, or 56% of rural households in the nation. The Jal Jeevan mission hopes to connect every household in the country to public water systems by 2024. The initiative faced disruptions during the pandemic, but from a starting point of just 32.2 million rural households out of a registered 192 million, the program has seen remarkable success. In 2018, before Jal Jeevan began, just 49.5% of the country had access to safely managed drinking water, lower even than neighboring Bangladesh. The accomplishment becomes all the more remarkable when considering that India is the second most populous nation on Earth. If you liked the video and find the content meaningful, then kindly press the super thanks button and contribute whatever you can to the channel. Your contributions will help us create more engaging and informative positive videos.
Those are the top 7 positive news stories so far of 2023. And I felt like I might have covered all of them at the beginning of the year, during this first half of the year. Of course, the main one that comes to mind is the Turkish earthquake and the kids. They threw the bears on the field. That was very nice, very very nice. What Ella said, how cute it was. Um, that was very nice what they did in that game. Um, but also the drinking water in India. I think I bought that up because that's like almost a full country can now get drinking water there. So I thought that was kind of rare, but also kind of a step forward. The endangered animals in Australia, I do remember that, and the guy that ran the marathon, um, definitely remember that every day, even during the pandemic. So and also the tractor with the cow dung, definitely remember that. I was like, oh, great, cow poop. The future of gas will be cow poops. So I don't know, but so those are your top trending stories for 2023 so far, and for the 6 months, well, 5 months, but um, and now we're on our last video for this evening. We're gonna end it out with quotes. 18 minutes of quotes actually, and these are, what did they call them? This has like Ben Franklin and Freemasons. So we're gonna have random quotes, Freemasons like Ben Franklin, Mark Twain, and any others that are on here. I don't think I showed. I think the last one. I remember the background. It wasn't that background, so I think this is new. Um, sharing some great stories. And Nancy says, I seem to remember about the teddy bears. So yeah, the teddy bears just rang out to me. That was like kind of like at the top when they threw the teddy bears out on the field there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close out the show with the quotes here. I think there's 100 of them. 18 minutes long. Hopefully you guys will enjoy them. I know y'all love quotes. So what a way to close out the show this evening with some quotes from some Freemasons. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started with that.
For they tell you your faults. Always acknowledge fault frankly. This will throw those in authority off guard and give you an opportunity to make a choice. Buy land. They're not making it anymore. The longer we dwell on our misfortunes, the greater is their power to harm us. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. I think there is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, and that is softness of head. A man can never have too much red wine, too many books, or too much ammunition. Blessed is he that expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. The reason so many people never get anywhere in life is because when opportunity knocks, they are out in the backyard looking for four-leaf clovers. When you are asked if you can do a job, tell them, "Certainly I can." Then get busy and find out how to do it. Rather go to bed without dinner than to rise in debt. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, half shut afterwards. Our labor preserves us from three great evils: weariness, vice, and want. Dost thou love life? Then do not squander time, for that's the stuff life is made of. It is enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. Think how difficult it is to change yourself, and you will understand how insignificant your opportunities are to change others. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. The only time you really live fully is from 30 to 60. The young are slaves to dreams, the old servants of regrets. Only the middle-aged have all their five senses in the keeping of their wits. To lengthen thy life, lessen thy meals. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Whenever there is a hard job to be done, I assign it to a lazy man. He is sure to find an easy way of doing it. The happiest of all lives is a busy solitude. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and a man. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees all others. Never argue with stupid people. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Tricks and treachery are the practice of fools. They don't have brains enough to be honest. He that falls in love with himself will have no rivals. The truth must be served like a coat, and not thrown in the face like a wet towel. Hide not your talents. They for use were made. What's a sundial in the shade? Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. When you're finished changing, you're finished. There are many ways of going forward, but only one way of standing still. Right injuries in dust, benefits in marble. Associate with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. If a man empties his purse into his head, no one can take it from him. I would rather obey a fine lion, much stronger than myself, than 200 rats of my own species. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Actions are the seeds of fate. Deeds grow into destiny. One ought never to turn one's back on a threatened danger and try to run away from it. If you do that, you will double the danger. But if you meet it promptly and without flinching, you will reduce the danger by half. Never throughout history has a man who lived a life of ease left a name worth remembering. Big jobs usually go to the men who prove their ability to outgrow small ones. The greatest lesson in life is to know that even fools are right sometimes. Remember not only to say the right thing in the right place, but far more difficult still, to leave unsaid the wrong thing at the tempting moment. He that is good at making excuses is seldom good at anything else. Circumstances make man, not man circumstances. What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal. Better a broken promise than none at all. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of a joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. It is a wise child that knows its own father, and an unusual one that unreservedly approves of him. If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. The man who was a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. Whatever a man's age, he can reduce it by several years by putting a bright-colored flower in his buttonhole. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. When in doubt, tell the truth. There are 869 different forms of lying, but only one of them has been squarely forbidden. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something, sometime in your life. It is the little conveniences that make the real comfort of life. To be busy is man's only happiness. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Only two things we'll regret on deathbed: that we are a little loved and little traveled. I'm an old man, and I have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. Don't think money does everything, or you are going to end up doing everything for money. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. When you're good to others, you're best to yourself. What more valuable than gold? Diamonds. Then diamonds? Virtue. Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Search others for their virtues, thyself for thy vices. It is better to take many injuries than to give one. In this world, nothing could be said to be certain, except death and taxes. There are three things extremely hard: steal, a diamond, and to know oneself. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire, called conscience. It is the working man who is the happy man. It is the idle man who is the miserable man. We lavish gifts upon children, but the most precious gift, our personal association, which means so much to them, we give grudgingly. They who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. He that can have patience can have what he will. Money has never made man happy, nor will it. There is nothing in its nature to produce happiness. The more of it one has, the more one wants. Don't hit it at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting, but never hit soft. Some people die at 25 and aren't buried until 75. At 20 years of age, the will reigns. At 30, the wit. And at 40, the judgment. There is no man living that can do more than he thinks he can. It is easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. A false friend and a shadow attend only while the sun shines. I saw a few die of hunger, of eating 100,000. He that speaks much is much mistaken. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. The art of medicine consists of amusing the patient while nature cures the disease. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do, and then do it. If passion drives you, let reason hold the reins. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. Do what you can with what you have, where you are.
All right. So those were the Freemasons quotes. There are 100 of them, to be exact. I had to look at the Roman numerals. I was like, okay, 10, 20. I kind of know what the Roman numerals are, but sometimes I don't. So, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was the closer there for tonight's show. So hopefully you guys enjoyed those quotes. And when Nancy said earlier about the enemies, forgive your enemies, that was probably the best one. Forgive your enemies. Maybe they'll have some respect then. Those were good. There were lots of them. So I kind of like to do those random ones with different people on them, and there's different quotes. Kind of vibe along with everything there. So good list of quotes there. All right. So with that being said, again, this is near the end of the program. So good to see everybody in here this evening on this Tuesday night. Good crowd in here tonight. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Before that, we're going to go ahead and start to close the show out. So first of all, I'm going to put the Discord up here for anybody that has not joined my Discord. All the stories that you saw here tonight will be on the Discord afterwards, and you can check out previous stories and videos from this season, last season, Summer of Sunshine. It'll be all in there on the Discord chat. And I also run a daily quotes thing with the calendar here. I can't read all of it, but this is from let's see, Susan Wojcicki. I hope I said the last name wrong. The CEO of YouTube. So I think I have to post that in Mondays up this evening. I want to do that before I go to bed. So make sure to check it out. And then we also got chat rooms and all of that. So that's all on my Discord there. Make sure to follow if you like any of the stories from tonight. It will be all on there. Have a good night, Raymond. Thanks for the stories. Thank you, Nancy, for being in here. Appreciate you being in here. Love and support. Hopefully everything's get well with the knees and all of that as well. So thank you for being in here. The mental health hour with Tim and Gemma. That is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Tim and Gemma are awesome at what they do. To bring forth the topic, and they discussed the topic for 1 full hour. They did psychosis and schizophrenia last week, and this week they're doing ADHD. Forgot to change that, but ADHD will be their next topic for tomorrow night's show at 6 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to follow Tim Conrad 1 on on um, on Twitch here, and you should click on Tim's name there, but I'll put up a shout out anyway for him on that. And finally, it might be a little censor there. There we go. It took a little while there. So Tim's went up, and finally Jim in Chicagoland. He does Catalyst tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna have to change that again. I think he's going back to 11 p.m. now. Last week he did a fire pit. I wasn't be able to come on, but I think he did a fire pit last week. So maybe this week he'll do a fire pit again. Usually I'll say a candle, but it could be a candle or it could be a fire pit. Talk about your day, relax your mind, topics, all of that. Jim is there to listen. So make sure to tune in tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. And if I'm not mistaken, Saturday Night Trivia will be back as well this Saturday after a 2-week hiatus. So that will be on 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Make sure to follow Jim in Chicagoland. And with that being said, guys, again, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Brenda. I know she's out on her dinner there. Mawal. Thank you, Mawal, for being here. Frank, for being in here for a little bit of time, watching junior hockey. I think I covered everybody. Anybody that I missed, thank you for being in here. Ella was in here earlier. Thank you, Ella. So yeah, I think I covered everybody that was in here. And to all the replay viewers, thank you for being here as well. And I was going to raid. I haven't raid Joker in a while. I have not seen Joker in a while, so maybe we can raid Joker. Give him a little bit of a surprise raid, I guess. Make sure I spell his name right. Alright, so we got the raid call ready there. We're gonna go raid Joker. I haven't seen Joker in a while, and usually he's a supporter here on the show as well. So really nice to say hello to him. But hopefully you guys will stick around for his stream. But remember, next time I will be on next Tuesday in case anything happens. But I will be back next Tuesday. Tuesday night. I don't think the Canes have no Tuesday night games. So I should be back next Tuesday night for another edition of A Ray of Sunshine. Till then, be positive, be safe, be kind to one another, and I will see you guys next week here on A Ray of Sunshine. All right? Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. And we're going to say hello to Joker. So, take care.